Hey boys and girls, there is no outer space. We're on a flat world. They fooled the human race. We all fell for it before. No one should buy it anymore. Look up to the sky. The sun goes around you. Then look up at night. The moon is doing that too. All the Star Wars movies are lies, 'cause space can only be in your mind. Space is a farce. There's a dome over us. NASA is a lying Freemason gang. Space is a farce. The Earth was created for us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Flat Earth Podcast for another hour or so of Flat Earth audio. I'm your co-host for now, Matt Long from flatworth.com, and with me, as always, is Dave from Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. Dave, how are you?
I am doing great. Very excited as we count down the final days to the conference in Denver.
Oh, man, yeah. We're within a week.
We are, less than a week.
I've always wondered if people realize that you and I do this show and we're not in the same room together.
I've only met you once at the conference last year. Is that true?
That is true. I've known you almost as long as I've known my fiance.
I think Bob and Jaron did Glowbusters for like 2 years before they met each other.
Yeah, it was something crazy. And it was the conference, right, where they did their first show together. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, so some people think that you and I have a bunker, I think, deep beneath the earth where we do this podcast together, where you live all the time.
I
just
wish.
Come down to visit. But yeah, so we'll be seeing each other again very soon.
This is a big Flat Earth weekend for me, where Paige and I are going into New York City. My daughter and her boyfriend and Zulu One, Mark, and CC from Westchester will be joining us for the Beyond the Imaginary Curve, the hit movie against Flat Earthers, but it is in New York, and we're going and we're going to see what happens.
Awesome. That'll be fun. I think you can even pre-order that now. Isn't that right?
I think so on iTunes, but I don't know. I don't know why people would order it from what I hear.
Maybe to study up.
I think it's just interesting having a room of people that are there to like, what the heck is Flat Earth? Because that's my favorite sound in the world. Like, what is Flat Earth? Hello? Hello?
Right.
I can tell you.
Yes, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I think I've got a big weekend coming up, too. I'm having a meetup here in Fort Worth at 2 p.m. on Sunday. If anyone wants details, they can email me at info@flatworth.com.
And that is Sunday, November
11th, which
2018.
That's right. That's right.
You have to remember, people will be listening to these for the next 100 years.
That's right. You're exactly right. Sometimes I forget that. Yeah, 2018.
This time around.
Absolutely. So I had an interesting week. I went on Patricia Steer's show, which was awesome, but I had a little run-in with possibly some brain damage, similar to what you encountered while you were on the roller coaster.
Personal brain damage, not brain damage people that surround us daily.
Personal, actual brain damage. I was in the kitchen area of our office, and I had to sneeze, but I was eating a banana, right? And so I was in the middle of eating it, and so I didn't want to sneeze. So I like swallowed the sneeze, the standard like hold your nose so you don't like shoot food everywhere.
Instead of swallowing the banana, you swallowed the sneeze.
Exactly. So I swallowed the first sneeze, finished my banana, and then I felt the sneeze coming back. Okay. So I let this one out really hard, and I sneezed so hard that I hit my head on the countertop of the kitchen in there, and it was I actually heard it before I felt it, and I hit it so hard I thought there was going to be blood like running down my face. Unfortunately, there wasn't. But I told someone I was actually fortunate the countertop was there. Otherwise, I probably would have hit my head on the ground. The sneeze was so big.
Would that not have happened if we were on a spinning ball?
I think it probably would have happened either way. I was just
So
trying to connect with
that
you.
fits into the both baskets. Works on a flat Earth, works on a ball Earth.
That's on both baskets. You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
I have a flat Earth coming out story. Well, not coming out. Flat Earth is becoming more popular. More people are talking about it. My daughter is a bartender at a big sports bar in New York City, and there was a couple of guys at the bar, and one of them was trying to school his baller friends on flat Earth, and they were ridiculing him, making fun of him. But she's listening with a third ear, and when she went to close them out, she goes, "Hey, you guys should listen to the Flat Earth podcast and maybe you'll learn something," or something to that nature. And they're like,
Nice.
"What? Flat Earth podcast? We don't know about this." And he's like, "Yeah, my dad does it." And they're like, "Who's your dad?" And she goes, "David Weiss." And they go, "Your dad is David Weiss?" And they were
Yes.
freaking out. So it has begun. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it has begun.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
You're famous.
I don't want to be famous. I just want people to wake up, and I want the world to be free, and for people to know who they are and where they are. And if I have to be well known because of it, so be it. But that is the last thing that I want.
And I would say from knowing you personally, that's 100% the truth. That's exactly the way you are.
Yeah, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let me just
Right.
let me be. Let me be. Leave me alone.
Right, right. Yeah, so we talked about the conference a little bit. We actually got some tickets donated to us. Is that correct?
Yeah, we did. So there was a couple by the name of John and Gina Bird who had VIP tickets and life got in the way. They couldn't come. So rather than asking for a refund, they donated them to the podcast because they love the podcast.
Great.
And they said, give them to a happy home. And one of them went to Mac, Flat Earth Fokker,
Yes.
who was coming to the show anyway. He didn't have money for a ticket, but he was coming to hang out with people, do some flat smacking. The guy put so much effort out there, and I believe
really
it
does.
made his day when he heard that. So
That is awesome.
he got one, and then
Best hair in flat Earth, by the way.
I don't know. You and Beavis have a close second.
That's true.
And then the other one, I forget the guy's name, but Karen B had a somebody that was coming to the conference. Again, big fan. She said he was a big caller in to Mark's show on TFR all the time, and he would appreciate a ticket. So he got the other one.
Very good. Very good. Someone else that's coming to the conference, last name Fetzer, I believe.
No, Jim Fetzer is not coming to the conference.
I heard that he was the special guest coming. That's what I heard.
That's interesting. Now, Jim Fetzer, for those of you that don't know, I did a debate with him years ago. It's the first video on my DITRH channel. If you want to go back to it, it's known as the next video because I had 30 minutes to present like 50 slides or even more. Maybe it was like 60 slides. Jim didn't hear a word that we were saying. People ridiculed him. But I just want to point out, Jim is not an enemy of Flat Earth. Since that debate, he has never said anything bad about Flat Earth. He focuses on his false flags. He has Moonrocks Publishing, which he has a book. He has books on all of the fake hoaxes, but one of the main books is We Never Went to the Moon, which is a great book. So for those of you that think Jim is a baller shill, he's not. He doesn't talk about it because that's not his thing.
Right, he's a truth seeker.
If people are looking for a way to do something to help save the world, moonrockbooks.com. Go look at the list. He's got about a dozen books there that I don't even want to say the name because we're going to have this on YouTube and we'll probably get a strike for saying the name of some of the books. But if you bought all of his books, shrink wrap them, buried them, or put them in a safe, in a very short period of time, you're either going to be rich after the massive book burning that's about to happen, or you're going to be in jail for possessing them. But either way, it's a win.
I think either way it's a win. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that's what I recommend people do, is buy a set of those books and preserve them for our children, because I believe the truth is getting buried just like it has in the past.
I believe you're 100% right on there. You know, I've gotten a little bit of flack for meeting with what some people would call an enemy of flat Earth in John B. Wells. But I don't see how we're supposed to spread this thing unless we're meeting with people that have large audiences like that.
Tell us about the John B. Wells meeting.
So John B. Wells, Mark Sargent actually reached out to me and said that there was a UK producer working on a show that they were going to pitch to a big network, and that they needed a flat earther to interview. And since they were in Dallas, I was in Fort Worth, so I shot over there and sat down with him for about an hour, hour and a half, and talked flat earth, truth, and the pursuit thereof. It was really good.
Was John B. Wells there?
John B. Wells was who I was visiting with, yes.
Was he the one interviewing you?
Yes.
I did not know this.
Where have you been?
I thought it was just like his crew doing this thing, and he was like a producer in the background.
No. I got to have a conversation with John B. Wells for about an hour and a half at the Flying Saucer in Rockwall, Texas, and it was great.
Wait, so did he ask questions about flat Earth? Did you explain what flat Earth is to him?
He asked many questions. Some were along the lines of, how can you believe in a flat Earth with this kind of information, things like NASA, things like that. Some were questions about, an example was the four corners of the Earth. How do you explain that? Another one was, have you suffered any ridicule from your family? So we really didn't get into like the detailed proofs of flat Earth. It was really more of a philosophical discussion on, is this something that a well-thinking individual could actually believe?
Did you tell him that you have the Flat Earth podcast and who your co-host is?
I did not, for fear that he might kick me out of the restaurant.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I've been on Caravan to Midnight, John's show, several times exposing other hoaxes, and I've had many phone conversations with John, and I started bringing up Flat Earth to him, and I said, he was slamming it on the air, and I said, John, have an offline Skype conversation with me for an hour. Let me show you, because he just brings up, what you'd fall off the edge, circumnavigation, all of the old, flat Earth society stuff. You guys believe that the Earth is rising for gravity, and that makes no sense. And everything John believes about flat earthers, no flat earther believes.
Right.
So he was supposed to have this conversation with me, and then he refused. And for there was a period there for almost every day for a month, he was slamming flat Earth. So I started, you slam flat Earth, that's like threatening my child.
Right, sure.
And I made a few videos about him, and not horrible, just kind of just trying to get his attention. And we had many emails between me and his son and him back and forth where they'd say, what about this? Circumnavigation. I can go to Japan either way from the United States. And I would explain it to them in detail, and they would just dismiss it and go to the next one. Standard mind controlled, indoctrination, that isn't ready for the truth. So maybe he's waking up.
It's possible he is waking up. Like, I didn't get the vibe that he was controlled opposition there to.
No, he's not. He's I believe he's by himself, and I believe he's the MC for the secret space program. So I'm sure that pays well.
Interesting.
That's suspicious, don't you think?
I had a great conversation with him, probably because I didn't bring you up, and he asked questions. He allowed me to answer them, which I did. I went into great detail on my answers, and even drove into other topics beyond his questions that I felt like needed to be talked about. And I did vehemently state that we are not associated with the Flat Earth Society, so hopefully that got through.
But you didn't mention the podcast, Globebusters, any other channels, any places to go?
That was not, it really wasn't the way the interview was going, where he was asking for information, and it's not an interview that's going to be aired. So had it been something on the air, I would have been putting more stuff out for the listeners. It really felt more like a conversation between he and I for a pitch to a network that nobody but the network is going to see.
Is his voice as deep in person?
It's deeper.
Really?
It's deeper.
Was he smoking?
He did smoke a little bit, yes.
Fascinating.
It is fascinating. So speaking of John B. Wells, let's talk about why astronauts wear such giant belts in space.
Because they're hanging from harnesses?
Mm.
Why would you wear a utility belt in space? I mean, a utility belt is to hang tools on, which they never have any tools hanging on them.
Right.
And hold up your pants. It's just, they wear these heavy cargo pants all the time.
Well, there's
almost
pockets of, there's pockets of gravity, right? And so at any point their pants could fall down.
There's been so many things being busted on the space station. The dropping of the screw.
That's a big one.
Yeah, these flips are screwing up all the time, getting hooked on wires. I don't know how anybody... You know what? I do know how people can believe in space. It's because everybody has the Twitter mentality. If it's longer than 140 characters, they tune out. They're not going to do the research. A friend of mine, I'll call him a baller because he just hasn't looked yet. He goes, let me ask you a question. How can the sun set on the flat Earth? And I don't want a long answer. It's like
lame.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that's how they get away with it, because you don't want a long answer.
Wow.
Yeah. So we will be discussing how to deal with that type of question at the conference in our seminar.
Yes, we will be, and it's a good time to go ahead and just talk about the conference. It's coming up next week.
What date is that?
Thursday and Friday of next week. So
that's the 14th and 15th of November, 2018.
2018 for those of you listening 5 years from now.
Or 100.
Or 100 that found Dave's computer and
are listening quietly in a corner, so no one else hears and arrests them.
Right, and they've got a guy on a bicycle churning the wheels to power the electricity, which no longer exists.
Right.
Wow. I cannot believe we made it this far. Right, so conference coming up. We, on the day before, we're going to have a meeting at the Billboard. Is that right?
That's correct. Wednesday, the 13th at 3 p.m.
Nice.
Everybody, if you're listening to this, meet at the hotel, and we'll carpool. As many people, if you have a car, please let us know so you can give people rides, and we're going to try to make a big scene there. There's going to be tons of media. Speaking of media, who is the big guest that's coming to the show?
Somebody with millions of followers, Robbie said. Do you have any guesses?
So I asked Robbie how many Twitter followers he had, and his answer was, if I told you that, you'd figure it out in 2 seconds. So,
well, then it's Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I hope it's Donald Trump.
Come on. That'd be great.
That would be fantastic. And he brings his son or his wife. That'd be great.
I'm excited because one of the reasons it's been a while since we've done a podcast is because you are working on a super secret project right now. Should I out it on the air right now?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be better as a surprise. We're going to announce it at the conference. I believe Jaron is working on a quick promotional video
Awesome.
Right now as we speak.
So Jaron knows, I know. For some reason, you don't think the listeners should know.
Paul on the plane knows. Karen B knows.
Okay, well, any hints? I mean,
here's a hint. If you check out one of my last 10 videos, there's a major hint. So go back, watch my last 10 videos, and then go watch the 20 before that. But watch my last 10 videos. They're all short, and you can figure out which one it is.
I'll tell you, I'm pretty excited about it. There's nothing like it out there, and I think it's going to be a really great piece of a really great tool for flat earthers out there if they want to be sharing flat Earth. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and the response I got from the people I've shown it to is they just love looking at it. It makes you feel good when you look at it and you see it. It kind of explains flat Earth really well.
So you have to look at it.
We have to look at anything,
Can
right?
can you tell us what you look at it on?
Uh,
That's a no. That might be asking too much. I will say also one of the things we started to do in our last videos is hide red hens in there. So any video that Dave and I are putting out, you need to go check out and see if you can find any hidden gems in there.
that is true. The red hen is hiding everywhere, so follow the red hen.
That's redhenwith2ns.com.
hmm And speaking of Trump, we do need to reach out to Donald Trump. He called in and did a speak pipe a while back, and I think you might have an offer for him if he'd like to do that again.
Yeah, if Donald, I would like to give one of these to Donald, and if he loves it, maybe he can do a presidential endorsement.
That would be fantastic. It's very good, very good.
Very good. People are going to love it.
Awesome. That would be great. So, speaking
So
of reaching out,
wait, jumping back to the John B. Wells thing.
okay.
Did you go do that so you can get a television series and be famous?
I only go talk to people about flat Earth to spread flat Earth. I am not in control of whether something beyond that comes. So I like meeting people. I like connecting with people. And the way I like connecting with people is by talking about flat Earth and this amazing creation that we live in, because people that don't know about it are not going to have as great a life without it.
That is true. They're lost.
So they are lost.
I was lost.
But now you're found.
Seems to be.
Seems to be. So, am I allowed to move on now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. Reaching out to Trump, which we really hope that he gets back with us again. We're also reaching out for a contest that we're doing, and it is the Iru Landucci shower meme contest. Can you explain?
Yeah, so Iru has been messaging me. First, he sent us an audio message. If you listen to, was it the last show?
It was an audio message for everyone else, but I believe you turned it into a video message in your head, if I remember.
Well, just listening to it, I got the visual. So then, during my TFR show with Jaron on Monday night, he sent me a video from the shower showing me.
Oh, yes.
Yes, showing me how he uses this shelf in the shower to hold his iPhone. Now, thank God he didn't hit the flip around camera.
Right. I think he has to take really long showers to have his phone in there to be able to reply while he's in the shower.
With the quality of work that he does, I don't think there's a moment in the day that he wastes. That he is always taking care of flat Earth business when he can.
What a warrior.
I would like to see some Iru in the shower memes researching flat Earth. And whoever makes the best one, I don't know, maybe we'll make a T-shirt out of it and they get a T-shirt.
I think it's a great idea.
That would be pretty cool. Now, I suggested that maybe at the conference, for the people that are excited for the first or second day to start, that Iru can actually do a live stream from his shower getting ready to come to the conference.
That would be fantastic.
And he likes the idea. So everybody maybe keep an eye out for that, a live stream from the shower at the hotel from the conference from Iru.
I think that'd be great. Who's going to film?
I'm not. Maybe
Don't
Karen.
know how
I'm sure Karen B would.
Karen B.
Karen B. I elect her to film. Karen from the waist up. Keep it clean.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. So moving on, I think we talked about Iru in the shower enough. Let's talk about the new auto response, the new troll auto response that you're having to deal with taking all the ticket money from the conference and buying a plane ticket and flying east and coming back in the west.
And I've been getting it from a bunch of people, is take all the money that is being spent on the conference, put all the flat earthers on a plane, and fly east until you either hit the wall or end up right back to where you are, and that will prove the ball. Anyone that's really taken the time to look into this, we know that east and west are circles because you're using a compass. A compass tells you your direction. The north always points to the axis of the earth or the center of the earth, depending on whether you're flat or ball. and east and west are circles. You always have to correct to the north unless theoretically on a ball you're on the equator. That's like the number one thing, and no matter what you show these people, they cannot understand that east and west are circles. And the thing is, that's not even a theory, because it's the same. It doesn't prove the earth is flat. It proves that east and west are circles on a ball or on a flat earth.
Falls into both baskets.
So if you're hearing that, there is one definitive video that really clears it up. Do you know the name of it? Excuse me.
I do not.
It is Circumnavigation for Dummies on the DITRH channel.
Get there, subscribe, push the bell.
All right. Want to jump into some speak pipes, or do we have more?
I want to talk about this notion of riding a train, having coffee in your cup, and that not being the same thing as you being on a spinning ball.
Yeah, so that's another argument. Either it's a programmed response, by Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson and the, Lion Box, that's so well ingrained that everyone automatically spews out the same thing, or it's an organized, it's in the Flat Earth Troll Handbook, just say that. And it's so that whether on a train, in a car, or in an airplane. And my response is, like, if they say, how come when I'm on an airplane I could drink a cup of, of whatever, and it doesn't spill all over me and go to the back of the plane? And my answer is, well, if you take off the outside of the plane and double the speed, tell me what happens, because that's essentially what the Earth is doing.
That would make it a little tougher.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, they talk about the rotational speed of the Earth. On an airplane going at 500 miles an hour, it has to go nose down a full mile every 2 minutes.
Unbelievable.
That's a lot of drop. That's a 2-minute mile. Okay? I think you would feel that. But as we know, airplanes don't do that. They fly straight and level.
That is correct. I think, too, this notion that angular speed is the same as a constant speed going in one direction, those are not the same thing. So if someone's going to say that you're riding in a car and you can toss a ball up and catch it, that's not the same thing as you going in an angular motion in a circle. So if you want to see what the difference is, you need to drive your car in a circle and toss the ball up, and the ball will go towards the outside of the circle every time you toss it up, because you're accelerating, because you're changing direction, just like we are on a ball.
That would be the Coriolis force.
That would be, yes, very much. Now, they negate that with saying, well, gravity accounts for all that. So
that's an argument that you can just have with them all day, but when you really sit down, put your ego aside, look at what we sense and feel and see, look at all of the evidence around us. We don't have all of the answers, but all of the answers that we do have point to flat Earth. Nothing points to the ball Earth. Only.
Think of the responses we get when we tell people that they live on something that is fixed and immovable, when that fully aligns with, for me, the scriptures, but also the thing that they experience every day. Think of the responses people had to have gotten when they were telling people that they were living on a spinning ball for the first time.
They must have had a harder job than we have.
My point is, I don't think you could convince somebody that. I think the only way to do that is to have people grow up thinking that's the case.
You have to start them in kindergarten.
Exactly.
My kindergarten had a big globe in the front of the class.
Yep.
Most of them do. And then the television, Sesame. Why was Werner von Braun on Wonderful World of Disney on Sunday nights when I was a kid?
I don't know, but I do know that Walt Disney is an honorary member of Operation Deep Freeze. Did you know that?
I know he has Club 33 in Disneyland.
Yep. I know he has 3 6s in his signature.
Yeah, that's so obvious. And if you look at the Disney logo, it looks like the same trajectory that all the rockets take.
And if you look at the picture of Pluto, it looks like it has a picture of the Disney character Pluto in it.
That's just a coincidence.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You are right. No, but Disney Studios filmed Operation Deep Freeze, and Walt Disney is an honorary member. And if you look at the Disney logo, okay, it's the Magic Kingdom with a firmament going over the top of it, and one of the towers pokes into and goes above the firmament, which aligns with Genesis 11, talking about the Tower of Babel, whose top would reach unto heaven.
All interesting, Matt.
All crazy. Well, that brings us to the end of our topics. Why don't we take a break and we'll do some speak pipes after this.
All right.
Following announcement has been paid for by
The Flat Earth
Podcast.
You want to leave a digital voicemail for us? Head over to theflatearthpodcast.com and click on the blue link that reads, "Got a question? Send us a message."
You can do it from your iPhone or from your computer. First time you do it on your cellular phone, you'll have to download a little app. But after that, you can leave us all kinds of messages. If you want to be anonymous, you can make up a name, make up an email address. We don't care. We just want to hear what you have to say.
We'll do our best to play or answer these questions and comments on future episodes right here on the Flat Earth Podcast. Download the SpeakPipe app and check us out at theflatearthpodcast.com.
The Flat Earth
Podcast.
If you're watching this audio on YouTube right now and you're not familiar with the world of podcasting, there's a far better way to listen to the Flat Earth Podcast each and every week.
Think of it like your TiVo or your DVR is to your television. You subscribe to whatever show that you like. Whenever a new episode comes out, it records it, downloads it, and notifies you that there's a new episode for easy listening anywhere. Another great feature on most podcast players is you could speed up if you want to hear stuff even faster, or more importantly, it has a jump back and jump forward 30 seconds so you could skip annoying announcements like this.
We're on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and so many more. If we're not on your favorite podcast app, send us a message and let us know to make sure we will be.
The Flat Earth
Podcast.
Dude, are you still listening to this on YouTube? Get a podcast platform so you can listen to a podcast, okay? Why would you want to sit here and stare at a thumbnail for an hour and a half? Right, I have no idea either. Come on. Dave told me people are still listening to this on YouTube. I didn't believe him. I went over and saw how many views we had. Come on. It's time to get into the second half of 2018. This is not 2007, guys. Do it.
Fine, you guys. We'll continue to put the podcast out on YouTube like it's 2007. But you have no idea what you're missing. This is Matt Long from the future. Over and out.
Hey, what's going on, people? Flat Earth Man in the house. I want to talk to you about the Flat Earth International Conference. But before I do, let me tell you that all you're watching is a puppet show. Yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're just actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, Ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not. You're lying to the whole human race. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah. Hey, what's going on, people? Flat Earth Man in the house.
Hey, what's going on, people? Conspiracy Music Guru right here with DITRH on the Flat Earth Podcast and preparing for the Flat Earth International Conference on the 15th and 16th of November in Denver, Colorado. Very much looking forward to it. Got a couple of songs to showcase. I'm going to be playing live as well, flying all the way from Spain, and I cannot wait. It is going to be the most amazing thing you've ever been to if you want to understand a little bit more about this reality. If you're flat curious, or if you are well-versed in the Flat Earth conspiracy, then we can't wait to see you. It's going to be one hell of a conference.
If you're a full-on flat earther or just discovering flat earth and not sure, don't miss this conference. You'll learn amazing new things about flat earth. If you're new, you'll meet amazing people. You'll make lifelong friends. I wouldn't miss it for the world. If somebody said to me, hey, we'll give you an all-expense-paid trip to the Caribbean, which is my favorite place to go, or you can pay your own way to the Flat Earth Conference, I would give up the Caribbean and go to this conference. You can find it at fe2018.com or just go to theflatearthpodcast.com and there's a link right there on the top of the page.
Hey, it's Mitchell from Australia. Where are you? Like, it's been over a month. I haven't heard from you. I check your podcast page every day. There's just nothing. It's like you've just left. Like, you don't call? You don't write? Just getting your answering machine again. Is it me? God, it must be me. I'm sorry, I always do this. I come on too strong. I try to be overly nice. Like, I'm a nice guy. Just give me another chance. Pick up the phone. I know you're there. I know you're there. Don't hide from me. Pick up the phone. I love you. Bye. Hey, it's me again. Still haven't heard from you. I just can't get you out of my head. You drive me crazy. It's all I think about is just you. Dave, is it the transgender thing? Because I don't care, man. If you got an innie or an outie, I still love you the same. I just need to hear that voice. Please come back to me. I saw your mum at the shops the other day. I just didn't know what to say. Just give me an answer. Do you love me or not? Bye. Pick up the phone! You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see, Davy? Where the hell are you? I swear to God, if I come round your place and Jay's car's there, oh, help me God. What does Jay have that I don't have, huh? You know what, screw this, screw your games. I'm going to call Jaren and he's going to give me flat earth. Yeah, how do you like that, huh? Yeah, you forgot I got those photos of you too, don't you? Yeah, oh, you want to play games? You pick up this phone. I know you're listening. You're nothing, you hear me? Never been anything. Before we even met, I picked you up, put you on the flat earth pedestal, and now what do you repay me with, huh? Silence, nothing. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean it. Nobody does flat earth like you. Jaren, he doesn't mean anything. I mean, I like his videos, but that's it. That's as far as it goes. He could stick a whole box of tissues up his nose and he still wouldn't have a beautiful nasally voice like you do. I just need you. Come back to me. I love you. Bye. Davy, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Because I want you and I need you. And I'm down for you always, CJ. Do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Because I want you and I need you. And I'm down for you always. Boys, this is what happens when you don't do a podcast for a month. Don't let it happen again.
Okay, let me see. And about your applications, if you can give me to the next week, I'm taking a shower. That is the noise. So if you, because I am ending work for Wednesday of the next week. So after that, if you want, we can talk about it.
Donald J. Trump here with tremendous news for everybody. This is so good. You know, I love listening to you guys. We got the Air Force, we got the Space Force, and now I'm announcing, I was just joking, and we said, what a great idea. We're gonna have the Flat Earth Force. Flat Earth Force, this is so important. Tremendous stuff for all mankind. And Dave, I want you, you're gonna be heading up the Department of Domeland Security, gonna do such a good job. Matt, too, you're going to be there as well. Melania keeps asking, where's Jay? She loves his voice, you know. I say, honey, it's okay. Jay's gone to China. He's in China right now. But he'll be back soon, I'm sure. The Flat Earth Podcast, making America flat again.
All right, we're back. Let's get into speak time. Should I start over? Are you going to keep that in?
I don't know.
Okay. We are back. Let's do some speak pipes, Dave.
All right. Our first one is from Kendra B.
Hey guys, this is Kendra from Arkansas. I'm a big fan. Been listening to you guys for a while. Just wanted to touch base on a couple things. I know we've been talking about Bible verses and little phrasings and references here and there and how it's hard to come up with off the top of your head. But what about the story of the Tower of Babel? That's not even feasible on a globe. I mean, that should be a smoking gun. Also, another thing, we are super close to Halloween. We need to get our business cards printed out and hand them out with every piece of candy we're giving out. Spread the word to the kids. All right, well, keep up the good work. Thanks, guys.
Very timely speak pipe. We literally just talked about the Tower of Babel, and I totally agree. That is not possible on a Earth that is in an insignificant part of an ever-expanding, potentially infinite universe.
Also, her idea about Halloween candy. I know that Caroline, AZ Arizona chick, Flat Earth chick, I forget her channel name. Forgive me, Caroline. She made stickers as we suggested and stuck them on her candy bars. I believe she gave out full-size candy bars too, so she could put a nice message on.
Nice.
Yeah, so her and Hori gave out candy together. And
yeah, Caroline Smith?
Yeah, Caroline Smith.
Awesome.
All right, our next one is from, I don't know who it's from. Let's see.
DITRH, why are you excited to speak with Marty Leeds, controlled Freemason shill on YouTube? His interviews are terrible. His channel is terrible. Look at his intro when it says Math Magical Hour. He's got the square and compass right over the G on his name. I don't understand why you would be excited to speak with someone like that, but okay, let's see what happens. I hope you take everything he does and says with a grain of salt. Have a great day.
So this guy obviously doesn't understand that we are also controlled opposition, right?
We all are.
That's right. I wish he would have told us what he really thought.
I think Marty is one of the smartest guys decoding the true nature of the mathemagical world that we live in. MartyLeads33.com, one of the best websites out there. Best $5 a month you can spend to be a member. Tons of free stuff. It's one of the greatest. I wish I had more time to be on it.
That was a good speak pipe, though, by the way.
Sure. The next one is from, looks like Mirek.
Hey guys, it's Mirek from the Czech Republic. I have a question about the movement of the stars. Is there a good explanation to explain why do the stars move in the opposite direction in the southern hemisphere? Thank you guys. Really enjoying your podcast.
It's not that they move in the opposite direction, Dave. It's that the perspective from where you're looking is different. Do you agree?
I've been getting a lot of people have been asking about that. I actually wrote somebody a long response today, and they got it. And the answer is whether the stars above us are in a dome or a flat disk above us, they're spinning around a center point.
Correct.
And they're close. So when you're on the inner northern hemiplane, you can see the stars that are on the inner part of that disk. I always probably dating myself, but think of it as a big 33 record album. And the tracks that are closest to the center, you can see in the north. And when you're in the south, you can see the tracks that are on the outer part, in the outer southern hemiplane. And they rise and set simply due to perspective. They make a curved look because they are spinning around in a circle, all relative to Polaris, the center North Star. That's why you see different stars. Now, they always rise from the east and set in the west, no matter where you are, no matter what direction you're looking at. But if you're in the north, looking at the equator, the stars are coming from your left and going to your right. And if you're at the same time in the south, looking at the equator, the stars come from the right and go to the left just because you're turned around.
Correct, which is why the moon is flipped when you're in the southern hemisphere as well.
You're just looking at it from the other side, and we're all brainwashed to think that it can only work on a ball, but it works on a flat earth perfectly.
Agreed.
Okay, the next one is from Zach.
Okay, hey guys, this is Zach from Mexico. I appreciate so much everything you guys are doing. Love the podcast. Podcasts are the way to listen to this kind of stuff. Much rather listen to podcast than watch a video, so I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Couple quick things I want to mention. I love watching TV and all that fun stuff. A lot of brainwashing going on. Understand. I actually want to talk about two things specifically. First one, BoJack Horseman. Cartoon about a horse on Netflix on season 5 episode 3. They blow up the ISS, the International Space Station. They say, oh yeah, it was getting too old, so we plan to break it. Planned obsolescence. Want to mention it to you guys, just see what you think. If you guys had heard of that, seen it, I thought it was very interesting, and it completely stuck out from the rest of the episode. It made no sense, no funny joke at the end. It just happened. It was weird. Second thing, don't know if you guys talked about it. I find it so interesting interesting that with the X-Men in Antarctica, there is a whole hidden world called the Savage Land, just all this crazy stuff happening in Antarctica. Just thoughts, guys. Want to see what you think. Just interesting. Love the show. Just wanted to get that out there. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Zach. So Zach was the one that pointed out that to me. I looked it up and made my video. Did you see my BoJack video?
Yeah, you'd send it to me.
That cartoon is bestiality. It's horrible. It's what it's normalizing is beyond belief. And there's 3 scenes that I clipped together, and I think that they're programming us for one day when they have a catastrophe on the space station. Thoughts?
Yeah, and I think by us talking about it, we've pushed it back a little bit, right?
Yeah, therefore you can never be proven right because no man shall know the date or the time.
That's right. Though people listening to this 20, 30, 50 years down the road in their cellar, after they found your hard drive, maybe prophesying.
The other thing is, if you look at go watch my video. There's the 3 clips. In the first clip, the horse is having sex with a human woman. They don't show it, but that's bad enough. But in the beginning, the male dog, there's a fountain behind him, and it looks like he's peeing on his date. I mean, there's no doubt that was done on purpose.
Unbelievable.
It is unreal, and I sound like you're I can't even say it. It's like oh, what's wrong with you? It's funny. It's not funny. It's beyond ridiculous.
Wow.
The next one, I sound like an old man. The next one is from Jeremy.
Hey, this is Jeremy from Kansas again. Matt, I apologize. Listening back on the last week's episode, I realized I made a big flub when I was talking about Lucifer seeing through the firmament. I did not mean into space. I meant into heaven. Do you think the Vatican can see through the firmament and into heaven? So let me rephrase that question and get your thoughts on that. I know you said if I wanted to look into that some, I wouldn't even know where to begin to look into that. I guess I just thinking maybe you had some input or what you thought in general as to the feasibility of that.
Yeah, so I would say that it wouldn't be possible for man to look into heaven just based on my understanding. And so I'm not saying they're not trying to. I'm not saying they're not trying to get in there. But I don't believe that's the case, though the question is a fascinating one.
I have nothing further to say on that. Our next one is from Branca.
Hi, Dave and Matt. It's Branca. You may remember me as the woman who refused to purchase her VIP tickets through PayPal after having read the security agreement. And who reads it, you ask? That's a funny question to ask for someone who questions everything. Anyway, you made an offer in one of your podcasts to take any Globe believer for lunch and converting him. Well, as I will be attending this conference in Denver next week with my Glober husband, Jim, he heard that offer and wants to take you up on it. So I'm thinking we have a date next week, Dave, with myself, you, and this Glober husband of mine. So I'm hoping you can work his magic, or work rather your magic on him, because it's hard living with a Glober when you are a flat earth believer. Anyway, I look forward to meeting you both, as well as all the other flat earthers out there. We'll talk soon.
So this is what the conference is about. This is what gets me excited. She's bringing her husband. He's interested, but he hasn't. Anyone that really looks into flat earth becomes a flat earther. It's only the ones that pretend to look into it and say they looked into it that aren't flat earthers. You agree?
Totally agree. And I think you even guaranteed that if you brought your unbelieving spouse to the conference that they would leave as a flat earther.
There's no chance that anybody could not, unless they literally have brain damage or don't pay attention. I mean, you have 2 full days of amazing information, amazing conversations. There's no possible way to leave there without becoming a flat earther. So you and I, her and her husband, I believe Jaron is going to join us, and I'm sure there's going to be a ton others. So
wow,
this understanding gentleman, nice husband, is going to have a lot of information. Something I don't know, you're going to know. If he asks a question that we don't know, Jaron's going to know it. There's no chance that he will come out. I'm actually thinking we should film it because it's probably going to be the most epic lunch ever.
I think we should.
All right. The next one, I'm looking forward to that, Bronca. Thanks for taking me up on the challenge. Now I'm truly excited for the conference I was lying before. Ruth from Nashville. Here we go, Ruth.
Hi, guys. This is Ruth in Nashville with another question. It has to do with seeing the moon in the day. So the other day, I'm at the park, and it's 9:30 in the morning, and I see the moon, and obviously at 9:30 in the morning, the sun is up full in the sky as well. Here's what I'm just figuring out or don't totally get. The sun takes 24 hours to rotate around the plane. I get it. The moon, I know, takes 24 hours and 55 minutes. You see it anywhere in the sky, exactly 24 hours and 55 minutes later, it'll be in the same place. It takes longer to go around the plane. So with that being said, when I see the moon in the day, does that mean there are portions of a month where in the evening there is no moonlight visible? The moon is on its track where it's with the sun lighting the light part of the plane. I don't get it. Tell me.
Thanks for that, Ruth. My answer is there's lots of flat earthers that say because the moon and the sun are seen in the day sky, that what about the people on the other side of the planet? What, they don't have any moon? And the answer is, yeah, they don't have any moon. I think it works on both models.
Yeah, I think it works on both models. I think there is, for me, the idea that the moon is in the sky during the day is something I've been looking into from a biblical aspect, like the fact that if you read Genesis, it says that the moon was created to rule the night, and now we have it out during the day. So I don't know if something has changed. You know, it goes back to like we used to have a 360-day calendar. Now it's 365 and some change. The shortening of days, as the New Testament talks about. So it's something I'm really intrigued about. But as far as figuring out why and all that stuff, I'm not sure.
My secret will help explain this. Would you agree?
I would totally agree.
Yeah. There you go. On the 14th, you'll know. That's our last speak pipe. I want to give a shout out to Corey, Flat Earth Builder, who was at the conference last year, who was hoping to come this year. Can't make it, but he'll be watching the live stream, I'm sure. And Corey, we'll miss you.
Yeah, I remember meeting him there. He was stationed right next to where I was stationed, keeping people out of the back door. So
we'll try to get you a T-shirt, Corey.
That would be sweet. We'll have to smuggle one out since you and I are going to be working the T-shirt part.
I'm pretty sure we can sneak one out.
Yeah, so we'll be working registration. So if you're coming, come say hey to Dave and I. We'll be right there.
All right.
Awesome. You can check me out at Flat Worth on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Don't forget to check out redhenwith2ns.com. And if you go to logo.redhenwith2ns.com, you can download the Red Hen logo and use it however you want. Dave and I are coming up at the Flat Earth Conference. We're going to be doing a session there. We've also got Question Everything 2019 coming up in February. That's QE2019.com. Check that out because that's going to be about more than just Flat Earth. It'll be about 9/11, vaccines, all kinds of stuff. So, Dave, where can people find you?
Right here on the Flat Earth Podcast, the flatearthpodcast.com. If you're looking for good Flat Earth videos, if I do say so myself, my channel has short ones for beginners and for advanced people. There's probably over 100 now that most of them are under 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. So if you haven't seen them, check them out, put them in your playlist, autoplay them, and there's some good stuff in there. I re-uploaded a video the other day on how far are the stars. It seems like no one has ever seen it, but it's been up for a year or two.
It's always good to re-upload some.
Yeah, because there's so many new people coming into it, and who goes back? I don't go through older videos too, but there's so much good stuff out there, so go for it. Anybody that doesn't have a channel, feel free to go to my channel, download my older videos, newer videos, and make your own channel. Just put them on there so other people see them.
Absolutely.
No worries.
Awesome. Well, thanks for listening. We will see some of you at the Flat Earth Conference. And as always, thank you for coming to check us out here. You've been listening to an ancient episode of the future.
So long, everybody.
Hey, boys and girls, there is no outer space. We're on a flat world. They fooled the human race. We all fell for it before. No one should buy it anymore. Look up to the sky. The sun goes around you. Then look up at night. The moon is doing that too. All the Star Wars movies are lies, 'cause space can only be in your mind. Space is a farce. There's a dome over us. NASA is a lying Freemason gang. Space is a farce. The earth was created for us. There was no Big Bang. Hey, mom and dads, time to wake you up. You see you've been had and programmed long enough. We all fell for it before, and no one should buy it anymore. Space is a farce. There's a dome over us. NASA is a lying Freemason gang. Space is a farce. The earth was created for us. There was no Big Bang. Space is a farce. There's a dome over us. Astronauts were never drinking Tang. Space is a farce. The earth was created for us. There was no Big Bang. Space is a farce.